welcome back to another warm-up show with the hockey coach, the local franchise directly for the beautiful Sunshine State in Florida. And we have to go all the way to the north to find the master of all the prediction in NHL, the co-host from Toronto, Ontario. We have to welcome back Mr. ENORTAP in the house tonight.
Hello, Coach. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thankful Day, everybody. Thanks to be a part of the show. April 28th, 2022. 24 games. This is the end of the NHL 2021 season 2022. That's what we at the end of the day, Mr. ENORTAP. I can wait to see what's going happening after that for the playoff. We have a few people already in the house. Directly from the upstate New York. Mr. Jose DUARTE in the house tonight.
Hello, Jose.
From Utah, number one president, Los Angeles King. And welcome back, Mr. Ron with Kings 20.
Hello, Ron. Welcome.
And we have Mr. number one friend of the Boston Bruins. Welcome back, John Gregor.
Hey, Gregor.
John, could you confirm with me, because I was not sure if you had 2 or 3 tonight. At some point, I was not sure. So if you can confirm with us if you have 2 or 3, we're going to give it to you. I put 2, but I could be wrong, honestly. But we'll see. Just confirm with us, Mr. John. We trust you. We don't have to go to Deloitte and Smith verification, but if it's a point to tell us, that'd be great. So from Finland, the bear. Welcome back, Mr. Jarmo Vartanen.
Hello, Jarmo. Moi moi.
And from Texas, everything is big. We call him in French Monsieur Jambon, but in English we call him Monsieur Joseph LANHAM in the house.
Hey, Joseph.
And from Ontario, the number one fans of the AN34. Welcome back, Miss Kelly.
Hello, Kelly. Welcome.
That's what we have so far, Mr. ENORTAP. Hopefully, don't forget to click on the likes. That'd be great. We have right now 10. We have a new concept. We are only live streaming on YouTube channel now. We quit Facebook, Twitter, and what's the next one? Twitch. And the reason why, because we're testing, is because we got some people got blocked and got time out and everything like that.
That's strange.
And we tried to figure out what's the problem. So what we did, we tried to go only on YouTube. What was my option to do this after during the next season? So we're testing this. When I'm on a YouTube channel, the software I use to give me all the stats, so I can exactly to know how many likes, who did it, who did not do it, the viewers. It's crazy. But
nice.
That's it. And every time someone click on the likes, they pop up on my screen like a big thumb up. So that tells me, oh, one more. So comment reaction, I have all that kind of stuff like that. And directly from my pointer now with YouTube channel, Mr. ENORTAP, I can ban someone right away.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Right now, it's going to be crazy here at some point. Someone play with us. We're going to eject them like on the seat, like eject. That would be. It's called eject. You should not ban. Eject. Boom, out.
Eject.
Right away over there. But we'll see about that. But we have Mr. Real Deal Prim back in the house.
Hey, Real Deal. Welcome.
And then I had to bring, I was changing it because this was for the morning. We're going to bring things downstairs. This, Mr. ENORTAP, I just have to click on one thing and boom, it show up right away. I'm telling you right now, we should do this more often on YouTube channel. And we have Mr. Kilo back in the house.
Hello, Kilo. Welcome.
And from Ottawa, Senator fans, welcome back, Mr. Corey Hill.
Hey there, Corey.
And Yamo, he put his helmet on in case he got out of this part of the. So in our top, maybe it's time to set up.
Him, of course.
I'm sorry again.
If you're gonna eject poor Yarmo, he needs a helmet.
Exactly. We have 9 games, Mr. In our top tonight on the program.
I know.
Last night before the big night tomorrow, 15 game tomorrow. Tomorrow we don't talk.
16,
we just do
actually.
prediction game. I think in our top he's going to work all day long tomorrow.
I know. I got to find some time to think.
And the crazy thing about this, Mr. Untitled, whatever you said, Buchnevich and Thomas and Tarasenko, they may be not playing.
Nobody listen.
No, nobody playing. That's a problem. Nobody play.
I know.
And nobody's listening too. That's the biggest problem. They pick before you finish, I can understand they don't listen in our tab. They just tell me the score already. I said, geez, you don't listen the way you just said. They win the last 13 game at home and you pick the visitor team. I don't get it. But someone did to listen to you, Mr. In our tap, is Mr. Pierre Saint-Coq. He got 4-1 yesterday. Yamo listen you. Danny listen you. Nooner, he understand he need to listen you more now. And Blackhawks 97, they all listen you. They got all 3-2. Me, I copy you. I got 2-3. And run with Kings with Kelly, Yann Genet with John Gregor, Luciano Graziano, Richard Mullen, Corey Hill, Joseph Laham, le Jambon, the Kilo, and the King Gamer, the DZ, I cannot remember who he was, Andrew and Pierre Martin, all 2-3. And obviously, we'll go together a little bit later. Andy and Joseph Duarte 1-4. The right score, Mr. Inata, Danny Yamo, 1 right score. And Yamo did again with the players with Kilo, Conor with 4.1 goal, 2 assists. Finally, Andrew, he nailed it right there on the nail with he hammered the nail with 33. Congratulations about everything, the winner of last night, everything. Anything do you need to add on that one, Mr. Notap?
No, I'm just saying that they did a great job last night. It wasn't,
a lot of people.
Easy. A lot of upsets. Like, we didn't find out about those 8 Ranger players that got sat yesterday until just before the game. So, otherwise,
it's going to happen again also Montreal tonight, Mr. Notap. Because when you be done at 7 o'clock, the game play at 9 o'clock, maybe Colorado maybe sit McKinnon.
I know. Especially if some of the scores are in early.
Like Florida sit 9 players right now.
Oh, really?
No Huberdeau, no Pargov, no Reinhardt, no Bobrovsky. They just sit everybody. They play with 4 or 5 American hockey players tonight.
So I guess they don't want the President's trophy.
They don't really care about that. He knows when you win it, you don't make the Stanley Cup.
But there's only one cup out there. It's called the Stanley Cup.
Mr. Jose, want to mention this to you, and very kind of him. He said, I just want to say thank you, Coach, and Michael and Drew, for a wonderful 82 game. I love the channel. Thank you so much, Jose. Very kind of you.
Jose. You're awesome.
We appreciate that channel grow, and like ENORTAP and other people make that channel better and better. And that's the reason we bring them about that. Corey Hill want to mention this. Did you hear about Dustin Brown retired after the playoff? He want your thought on about this one over there. When you talk about Dustin Brown, what came on your mind?
Oh, leadership. Like this guy, talk about giving heart and soul to a team. And, when you needed a big goal at a key time in a game, especially in playoff time, that's where he was most notorious. He produced, and the LA is going to miss a big guy. That's for sure.
Yep. For me, it's toughness. Because you said leadership, so I don't try to get under the word, right? But toughness absolutely. For me, he's not a big guy. He's not like a 6'3", 6'4", Dustin Brown, right? But he was played like a 6'3", 6'4" guy on the ice constantly. He would do everything for the logo in front of his jersey. And that's the reason he was the captain. That's the reason. So, at the end, you're losing great players every year, right? Because that's the age, that's normal. So after Kesslav, Dawson Brown, and I believe Shara will be the end for me. I don't see Shara
Yeah.
returning next year, so it's a it's that's generation that has going works. But great comment, Corey, to bring back Dawson. I
Do you
saw this
think
around 3 o'clock afternoon. So
do you think that Chara will retire in Long Island, or do you think he might sign a 1-day
no,
contract with Boston?
uh, I don't know. Honestly, this is a good question. I don't know. Um,
Yeah, it's hard.
yeah,
He was originally drafted by the Islanders,
Islanders.
was he not? Yeah.
So I don't
So
see
maybe
that.
he'll end
Like,
there.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't see that. But um, then he went straight to Ottawa.
Yeah.
They
That
went
was a
to
bad
Russia.
move.
Yamu said Barkov, Giroux, Yubi, Wegar, Fosling, Sleeping, and now we add Lundell and Kudas tonight.
Wow.
Sad to
And
see
that's just
is my
one
favorite
team.
king after Reptile Ron said about that one over there. So we want to go that way over there. Mr. ENORTAP, I think we're going to jump right away. We have 9 games to go. So what we're going to do, ENORTAP,
Yeah.
WJ 110, John Krieger said, to mention to you. But before we start, Mr. ENORTAP, we have to go that way. We have no choice because that's the time to do this for you. What I'm talking about? Oh yeah, it's time for Face Up ENORTAP. Pay attention the last 24 hours. What you pay attention? I'm sure you're going to bring us some great subject for the night because we have a lot of things happening the last 24 hours. Let's see what Mr. ENORTAP has for the Hockey Nation Live Show warm-up show tonight.
Well, Coach, we already hit on the Dustin Brown retirement, so that's one thing that's definitely happened in the last little while. As you mentioned already, we're going to start seeing, if not so much tonight, although we're seeing it in Florida, definitely by tomorrow night, we're going to see a lot of players perhaps sitting this out. Good sighting today was Ovechkin was at practice, which is great news for Washington. We don't know the extent of how active he was in the practice, so there's still no word officially in terms of whether he'll be able to start the playoff series, depending on where they're going to play. Because, as you know, Washington's one of those teams that controls its own destiny, whether they finish third ahead of Pittsburgh or they stay as the lowest wild card team, which would then take them to Florida. So they're gonna pick their poison. Do they want to play the Rangers or do they want to play Florida? I don't know if that's an improvement either case. Last night we had some good games. I mean, the Montreal Ranger game was not good in all fairness and in all honesty. Um, it, it got a little bit better towards the third period because we saw some goals exchanged. The shorthanded goal by the Rangers, which looked like that was going to be the tying goal, and then of course Petrie with a second goal of the night, sealed the deal for Montreal, which was. We were thinking, is this what we want, given the fact that there's only 2 games left, and we want to try to finish at the bottom and increase our probability of getting the first round pick. And then, of course, what ends up happening out of the blue, Dallas with a 3-0 lead, and Arizona finds a way to come back and take over that game and defeat them 4-3, um, which for Dallas, it still put them in the playoffs. Vegas. Uh, Vegas had a tough time with Chicago. There's definitely a lot of issues there that this summer will have to be cleared up. Some players that'll have to be moved. That's for sure. And LA comes from behind, trailing. I believe it was 3-1, and it's a system there, and the players have bought in, and I don't think that they're content with just saying, okay, we made the playoffs and we're happy here. They're going to continue with that system. I think they're when you look at somebody like Dano, for them, the fact that he scored 27 goals was, icing on the cake. I think what they really got him for is what they're engaging in now, and that's the playoffs, to shut down, the top scoring players from the other team. So the fact that he was able to find the scoring touch as well, it's gravy for them. So we'll see how that goes. And last but not least, Winnipeg, a very non-eventful victory over Philadelphia by a score of 4-0, which was good for me in the in the fantasy team because I got a shutout out of that. So it kept me a little bit.
That's how you're going to win because it's a shutout.
Hey, there's still more games tonight, so we'll see.
Yeah, but they had too many games to come back now.
No.
First of all, we have welcome back. We have to go all the way to drop, all the way from the top to the bottom, the red carpet, because he's coming to the bottom. Mr. Nooner, welcome back in the house.
Hey, Roger. How's it going, buddy?
And we have Mr. King of Gamer. Welcome, Mr. King of the Gamer.
Hey, King.
Before we start, don't forget, everybody, to click on the likes. We have a 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 people. Don't forget to click on the like. That'd be great. Mr. ENORTAP, before we go all the way for the 9th prediction of the game tonight, it's time. Team SWAT is ready.
Trouble.
And we'll see what's going on tonight, Mr. ENORTAP. And I think we have to find a way. What is going on here? I don't know how I can see that, but for the first time, he's going to the jail. Another one been there. He looked like he likes to go there now, but it's time for what? It's time to pick it up. It's time to knock the door, Mr. Roger and Mr. Danny T, because it's time to select Andy Cuivula and Jose Duarte. Two of the guys going to be at the jail for 24 hours. Start tonight after 1-4 last night. We want to thank them, honestly. A lot of people were scared to get out to go to jail. I was one of them, honestly, until we saw.
We were
one of them. Yamo was scared also at some point. And because we watched the game all together, right? So we watched with Andrew, everybody. So, yep. So Jose Duarte and Andy Cuivula are the two new people going to the jail for 24 hours and see how they're going to turn around over there. We're going to pick them up back tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. But until then, a lot of activities could happen to them, Mr. ENORTAP. So they are all the new people go to the jail. And, of course, they're going to get the tukala or something like that, about tuna fish from Finland.
Tuna
I'm sorry again?
Tuna kali.
Here we go. That's what I said.
I think.
You know me, when I learned to, I still don't know English, but everybody was said to me, they would tell me exact, if I was said something and it was not good, it was said to me the right words. And I always said to them all the time, that's what I said. But it was another
Always
story.
agree.
And talking about the man of the man, Mr. Sander Ice, Andrew Lepage, back in the house
Andrew.
tonight. Thanks to join
going,
us,
Andrew?
Mr. Andrew Lepage. Tony Kala.
Tony Kala.
Huh? Tony.
I wonder if we're pronouncing it properly.
Tony Kala.
Are we pronouncing it right, Yarmo? Tony Kala.
It's a Tony Kala in French. Arizona did not come back. I was done. If Arizona King said about that one over there. Then we'll try to get up. Dano, here we go. Dano did tell LA he want a bigger role and offense and not just be used for Facebook. Did you? And I know we go to the direction right now, but did you hear about the story about Philippe Dano and the Montreal Canadiens contract? The story get out today at 4 o'clock today.
No, I didn't hear it.
So the agent have an interview with radio station or whatever like that. Philippe Dano did not want to leave Montreal.
Really?
It's Mac Bergevin did not want to keep him
But I thought he offered him 5 million, if I'm not
the year
mistaken.
before.
Oh, okay. Well, it seemed kind of odd because he got along with the players really well. Like it was a big fraternity. You could tell that there was a lot of team chemistry, and he was a big part of it. So at the time, it kind of shocked me, and I thought, well, maybe he just wants to go somewhere else because he wants a different kind of role. Because if you remember, even in junior, when we got him from Chicago in that trade, he was projected like in junior, he was a pretty good scorer. He was quite efficient, and they thought that would translate well to the NHL. And I mean, when he was with Montreal in his first couple of years, he was actually scoring, 14, 15, 16 goals. It isn't until later where they gave him a much more defined role that his offensive production went down.
Yep, I agree with you.
But
Day off today for the Montreal Canadiens, but only one was on the ice. Which one do you think?
oh, good question. Gallagher,
Carey Price.
Carey Price. That was my second choice, which surprised. But I go,
Carey
no, it
Price
can't be.
back on the ice
Can't be
today.
him. Wow.
I think it would be dressed up tomorrow, Mr. ENORTAP. Maybe not play with play, I don't know. And the reason I said that to you, because Laval need Caden Primo.
Yeah. Well,
So,
they've actually secured a spot in the playoffs now, haven't they, Laval?
I'm sorry again?
I believe Laval has secured a spot for the playoffs.
Yeah,
I think they're in.
yeah. So it'll be
But
interesting what's going to happen about that one over there for sure. Kelly, we don't know because both of us, we picked both of them. So I don't know to give you the best answer about that one over there. Nuna said Andrew and Jose ready to pick up to the Golden Jail. Here we go. Roger, he does his job all the time about that one over there. Hovey playing tonight, Kilo said.
no, he's not playing tonight for sure.
Look like he's playing.
No, I'd be shocked. I
He
think
was on
that
the
would be a
ice today,
bad.
right?
Yeah, he was in practice, but they
He
didn't
was not confirmed
explain.
he was going to play.
No, no.
Okay. Welcome back,
I
Mr.
think it would.
Blackout
You know
fans
what? Anything
97.
anything can happen, Coach. But if Washington did that, that would be a huge mistake on their behalf.
And we have Mr. Luciano Graziano. Welcome back, Mr. Lucky.
Hey, Luciano.
And we have
Hello.
Mr. Roger Delaney. Welcome back, Mr.
Hey,
Roger
Roger.
Delaney.
How's it going? Welcome.
Ovi is out, confirmed by Yamo now.
Yeah, yeah. Doesn't
So no
surprise
pick
me.
for me, Jose. I did not pick LA win today, but I hope I'm wrong and they reached 100 point about that one over there. That's what we at, Mr. ENORTAP, 526-27. And let's start in with what we have. We have the wrong one, by the way,
It's okay.
because
You want to
that's
start
one
with
over
that
there.
one?
So we're going to
Oh,
start
okay.
right away. You're welcome, Mr. Lucky, and welcome everybody. Yamo selection everybody parce que moment escape, but we'll miss the second game, straight game. Ranta is back on the lineup tonight.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, he backed up the last game too.
Yep.
He was the backup. So you know what? If you think about a coach, if there's a team out there, I don't want to. I got to be careful how I pick my words. Like I don't want to say that can afford not to have their starting goalie. That's not really what I'm trying to say. But that can get away with not having their greatest their number one goalie. It's Carolina, right? They probably have the best defensive structure within the NHL. If I'm not mistaken, I think they finished off with the best goals against
Yeah, right now
this
they have
year.
about 4 goals, I believe, 5 in front of the Rangers. Or maybe
Right.
now more because they gave 4 goals. Yeah, they won.
So, if they had to go a series with Ranta, they'd be okay because they know how to shut things down. the key for them is going to be to produce enough offense to sort of sustain them, and then they can close things down like the best of them, and perhaps better.
By the way, Mr. Nota, before you start,
Yeah,
a lot of people have to pray tonight because this could be very bad late tonight and tomorrow night.
I think we might all go to jail.
Good luck.
Hey, we'll have a party if we go there. We'll stop off at. Well, never mind. I'm not going there. Okay, shall we start?
I'm sorry again?
Shall we start?
You can start with Washington talking about the game.
Okay, sure, no problem. Okay, so we'll start with that. The Islanders, obviously, they're not going to be participating in the playoffs next week. We've known that for a long time, but they will try once again to make the Capitals' postseason path a little bit more difficult. They're going to look to sweep a home-and-home series from the Capitals in the penultimate game of the season here for both teams. The Islanders damaged the Capitals' hopes for climbing out of a wild card spot on Tuesday night when they scored 3 unanswered third period goals to earn that 4-1 victory that they had. The loss for Washington was their second straight and third in 4 games. And like we said, they missed that opportunity to surpass the Penguins. But the Penguins lost as well, so they're really in the driver's seat now. They can determine their own destiny. Do they want to go to Florida, or do they want to open up against the New York Rangers here? The first wild card team isn't quite established either. Right now it's Boston, but Boston's been playing really hot, and if for some reason Tampa Bay falters in the last 2 games, they could switch positions and Boston goes to third, therefore going to Toronto instead of Tampa Bay. I'm sure the Leafs would probably like that a little bit better. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say about that.
All right, I will give you my pick.
Okay, you go first.
And I know you score.
Yes.
And I know your team.
You got it. Absolutely. You're good, coach. Just
I
so
took all your pick,
knows,
by the way. I did all yours.
Just so you guys all know, I did not, today and tomorrow, I did not hand in my predictions to coach, so he has no way of knowing what I picked. I said, put all my scores the same because it's irrelevant what the score is at this point. It's just to see if he can read my mind or not. So far, he's 1 for 1. And next we have Buffalo and the Boston. The Bruins are going to look to continue a hot streak to their regular season as they finish off and make it 4 consecutive victories when they host Buffalo tonight. Boston enters off of Tuesday's 4-2 victory over the Panthers, limiting the league's top team to just 3 shots in the third period. I don't know. Obviously, nobody else has done that this year, but that was a great feat. Of course, we have to take things and keep things in perspective. I mean, Florida has pretty much just cooled off lately, knowing that the playoffs are just around the corner, and that's a much bigger prize there than winning a regular season game. The Bruins, they scored a pair of first period goals within 6 seconds of each other, and then added 1 more in each of the final 2 frames to win that game. The Bruins have 50 wins for the first time since 2017. They have clinched at least the number 1 wild card position, and possibly, as I mentioned earlier, they could even finish third still in the Atlantic. It looks like it's Allmark that is expected to start tonight. One area of concern for Boston, though, and it continues to be as well, even though they have Pasternak back is the power play. Over the last 12 games, they've gone 0 for 36. So you can't have, part of your special team working at this efficiency if you're going into the playoffs. So you can rest assured that they've been working on that in their practices, and we'll see if they break out of that streak. Marchand himself did break an 11-game scoring drought with a late empty net goal against Florida. Pasternak and Lindholm both have played in multiple games since returning from injuries, giving the Bruins a nice little pre-playoff boost. Cassidy expects to play a full lineup, last time I heard, but some players could get a rest with Friday's back-to-back being in Toronto. So we'll keep that in our sights for tomorrow night. Despite being out of playoff contention, Buffalo figures to give the Bruins a stern test. They have won a season-high 4 consecutive games and scored 26 goals during a 5-1 recent stretch. Tokarski's been their goalie, so I think he's starting as well tonight, the last I heard. And you tell me, Coach, which way did I go?
Yeah, first of all, 4-2. I go with 4-2. I decide to go with Boston. And I decide you're going to go with Boston.
You got it. You're good. 2 for 2. Okay, so it takes us to Florida and Ottawa. The Panthers, like I said, they've clinched the Atlantic title and the top seed from the East for the Stanley Cup playoffs next week. They just need to get to the postseason in one piece. That's their main concern right now. They play Ottawa tonight in their second to last game of the regular season. Florida saw 2 key players depart early in that 4-2 Bruin loss on Tuesday. Their second straight defeat following a 13-game winning streak. We saw both Gudas with a lower body injury go out, and also Lundell with an upper body. Both missed the third period of that game. Now, Andrew Burnett said that both will miss the final 2 regular season games with a goal of returning only for the start of the playoffs. So it's relatively good news, nothing serious there. Still not much word out of the Ekblad corner in terms of whether he'll be ready for the first round. Personally, it would be quite fortuitous if he did. It looked like a serious injury when it happened, and I don't know if he's had enough time to really rest and heal. Ottawa enters the game. They're riding a season-best 4-game winning streak. Batherson scored his second goal of the game in overtime to lift the Senators to that 5-4 victory over the Devils on Tuesday. And they just have one more game left after playing Florida tonight, and that's a matchup with the Philadelphia Flyers on Friday. Okay, your turn, Coach.
Yep. This one I changed a few minutes ago. So I thought you would not change, but because I did not know, but maybe you're going to change because now you have a no lineup for Florida.
Yeah. I originally did have Florida. I'm just thinking in terms of who did we say is out of the lineup tonight?
Huberdeau, Barkov, Forsling, Kudos.
Okay. Enough said. I think
Lundell,
we'll go Ottawa then. We'll go Ottawa then.
Giroux.
That's okay. Ottawa.
So that's one, you know what I mean? So that's the reason that. So.
Yeah, let's go Ottawa.
All right. Sound good to me. Thank you.
Yeah. And then, thank you. Then we have New Jersey and Who do we have here? New Jersey and Carolina. New Jersey and Carolina. And why don't I have New Jersey and Carolina? Oh, here they are. Okay, so so much has been at stake for the Hurricane. Really, if you think about it, over the past couple of weeks, as this part of the schedule winds down now, there's bound to be sort of a celebratory mood for tonight's regular season finale against the Devils. The fact that the Hurricane are the Metro Division champions is obviously an accomplishment for them, especially when the Rangers were threatening them and defeated them a couple times in a row to get within striking distance. But in the end, they pulled through the Hurricane. Now they have a chance to extend their franchise record for points in a single season. Carolina holds a 5-game winning streak, clinching the division with that 4-3 victory on Tuesday against the Rangers. The Hurricane have been dinged themselves by goalie injuries during the past couple of weeks. Anderson has been out, which we know about. Antti Ranta has also been. I mean, he's backed up last game, but you got to believe he's still hurting. He's there just in case of an emergency. The Devils have 2 games remaining and sit 2 points ahead of last place Philadelphia in the Metro. New Jersey wraps up its season Friday night at home against the Detroit Red Wings. And currently, New Jersey's on a 4-game losing streak. However, the Devils have secured at least 1 point in 5 of its last 6 road games, going 3-1-2 in those outings. New Jersey's 5-4 overtime setback Tuesday night at Ottawa came with at least a little bit of a silver lining. The Devils reached the 4-goal mark for the first time in 7 games. And, that coincides with, some of the injuries that they had earlier on to some very key players on that team, because at one point they were scoring in bunches, and that production stopped quite quickly. So what do you have here, Coach?
4-2-4-2. Carolina.
You're
Carolina.
right. No doubt about that one.
Sorry?
And next, no doubt, you're right.
All right. Sound good.
Next, we have Tampa Bay and Columbus. So Tampa Bay, they look to continue their dominance of the Blue Jackets tonight, aiming to match a season-high 5-game winning streak. And also, at the same time, if they do that, they'll clinch 3rd spot in the Atlantic, which would earn them a first series matchup with the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Lightning conclude a home-and-home, trying for a 6th consecutive victory over the Blue Jackets, victorious in 6 of 7 and owning a 26-8 goal advantage during its 4-game winning streak. Tampa Bay is certainly playing like a club capable of winning, a 3rd Stanley Cup, that's for sure. Columbus was the latest to be taken down by the Lightning, who won the first of this back-to-back by a score of 4-1 on Tuesday. Stamkos, as we know, reached and then surpassed the 100-point mark for the first time in his 14-year career. We did it with 2 goals and 2 assists in the last game, and Kucherov also notched a goal and 3 assists as the Lightning prevailed in their regular season home finale. Since suffering a stunning first round sweep at the hands of Columbus in 2019, if you recall, in the bubble, Tampa Bay has now won 12 out of 16, including the postseason, in this all-time series between these 2 teams. So the Lightning outscored the Blue Jackets 24-11 to win in the last 5 meetings. And yeah, and Columbus is also is inflicted with a lot of injuries at this point. So I think it's going to be an easy one for you to predict for me here, Coach.
Um,
4-2.
4-2, 5-2.
Yes, yes, of
Yep.
course, absolutely. And now we have Calgary and Minnesota. Um, with home ice advantage in the first round, the playoff series being on the line here, like the Wild have plenty to play for still when they host the Flames tonight. Currently, the Wild are tied with the Blues for that second spot in the Central, knowing that this is the team that they're obviously pitted against in the first round of the playoffs. But I think it's very important for both teams, both for Minnesota and St. Louis, to get that second spot because it could very well, the home ice advantage could very well be the difference between those two teams because I anticipate a 7 game series between those guys. The Wild, they hold the second place thanks to a 1 game in hand that they have over the Blues. But the Blues, they could vault over them if they end up tied by having more regulation wins than the Wild. So they got to be very careful. They can't take anybody lightly and go sitting any players down. So I anticipate all of Minnesota's players will be in full action tonight. They unfortunately had a bit of a setback against the Coyote, but lately, who hasn't? They lost 5-3. That could have solidified second for them at that time. They finished the regular season tomorrow against the Avalanche, so that's not going to be an easy game either. Whereas the Blues are going to be playing Vegas, and really, what can you expect out of Vegas now that we know that they're out? So the Blues could actually have a better route to that second place finish, but right now it's in Minnesota's hands. Um, the Flames they arrive in Minnesota after a very thrilling victory over the Predators, 5-4 in overtime on Tuesday. They erased 3 deficits, the final one with zero point 0.1 seconds remaining in regulation, in a game that also featured plenty of bad blood in anticipation that these two are going to meet in the playoffs. That isn't 100% secure now because there could still be some movement with Nashville. So we'll see if that materializes. But if it does, that's going to be one heck of a series between the Flames and Nashville. Even though they have the top spot in the division sewn up, the Flames have not relaxed a bit, and that's by design. The Flames are 10-1-1 in their last run, and they're 7-0-1 on the road going back to March 19th. The fact that they haven't relaxed and they really haven't sat many players, just speaks to Sutter and his style and his, like, he came out and he said, if you start to relax, this is not like a water tap that you can shut it off and then come playoff time you can turn it back on and you're right back to where you used to be. He wants to maintain that momentum that he's established. Right now they're in a good place going into the playoffs, and he wants to maintain that, and you can sort of respect that. So that's all I really have to say about those two teams, Coach.
This one was not sure, but because Minnesota need the W, I predict you're going to go with Minnesota.
You're absolutely right. But I think it'll be, I know it's 4-2 there because I said
Yeah.
the 4-2, but it could be an overtime game. I could see that happening too.
Yeah.
Um, Next, we have Nashville and Colorado. Um, this one is in Colorado. Nashville has clinched the playoff berth, but they're still in a battle with Dallas for the 7th seed. The Predators hold a tiebreaker over Dallas should they end up tied, and just need to finish with as many points, and they're okay. If they win their last 2 games, they accomplished that, and they actually avoid the Avalanche in the first round. But again, is it any better the fact that they avoid Colorado and they meet up with Calgary? It's almost a case of pick your poison. So this could very well be Nashville, Colorado. Could very well be the first series matchup for these two teams. Colorado's coming off of a 5-3 victory themselves over St. Louis on Tuesday. That had them a little bit in uh, a losing streak of 4 games, and they were very pleased at having won that game. I think their morale would have been extremely down if they'd blown that lead to St. Louis. They're still in a position to win the President's Trophy. Again, if that means anything to any of these teams at this point, you know, but we'll see if that happens. Even though they're battling Florida for the most points in the league, the Avalanche rested some players after they knew that they had clinched the Western Conference. Devon Toews, for example, didn't make a recent 3-game road trip, and other players have sat out to recover from some minor injuries. Now, the Avalanche could get Mikko Rantanen back tonight after he missed the past 4 games with a non-COVID issue. But forward Landeskog won't play in the remaining 2 games for sure. Nashville clinched its playoff spot Tuesday night despite an overtime loss to Calgary. But they suffered a big, big blow when they lost UC Saros. And to me, if this guy is out of the lineup, we're not talking about Carolina here. Nashville is a team that's built, I think, around a system which requires a goalie of Saros' stature to go in there and steal a couple of games, and that's exactly what he's been doing all year long. I just don't see them having the same success if he's not there. So that's pretty much it for those two. What do you have, Coach?
4-2, 4-2. Colorado.
I'm going to go Nashville for this one.
All right.
Sorry. I just think they needed a little bit more. Perfect. And now that brings us to San Jose and Edmonton. San Jose and Edmonton. San Jose.
Yes, Kelly.
All right. Not only do the Oilers have a playoff spot clinched, but they head into tonight's game with the Sharks with a few other achievements in hand. Thanks to Tuesday's 5-1 win over Pittsburgh, the Oilers actually hit the 100-point mark and clinched second place in the Pacific and home ice advantage for the pending opening round of the playoffs against the LA Kings. They're going to look to build on that tonight. They've won 5 of the past 6, while their captain, Conor Mcdavid, has taken his game to a whole new level with 12 points in the past 4 games. I think when he heard that there was competition for the Hart, he decided to say, let me prove to everybody who's going to be the recipient of this award. He has a league-leading 122 points right now, and I think we take that lightly because we say, "Oh, it's McDavid. Of course, he scored 3 points last night," or whatever the case might be. To me, it's a phenomenal feat. We haven't seen those kind of numbers in quite a while. Vander Kane is going to look to make a statement Thursday. Why? Because he's playing the team that he left, which is San Jose. So he's actually been on a hot streak himself. He scored 6 goals in the past 4 games. He's gotten 10 points in the past 12 games, and to boot, they have Mike Smith, who's now won 10 won 10 consecutive starts. So they're in a good place right now, Edmonton. I think they want to try to maintain that momentum. The Sharks, they're going to conclude their season with a pair of road games. In their modest 2-game winning streak was snapped on Tuesday by the Ducks 5-2. They're 3-8-4 in their last few games. Looks like they're going to finish the season without Erik Karlsson, who missed the past 7 games due to a lower body injury. And, just looking at it a little bit deeper, Karlsson has actually played fewer than 60 games in 4 consecutive seasons now, while the Sharks have missed the playoffs 3 consecutive seasons. He's finishing his 4th season with the Sharks now, and his 3rd year of an 8-year, $92 million contract that was signed back in June of 2019. So, when we talk about San Jose, they've got some issues there, and they really have to figure out a few things because they got some hefty contracts that right now are not meeting expectations. So what do you have here, Coach?
And I do Minnesota, Calgary, Danny. So I just want to give you the right answer about that one over there. Edmonton, 4-2-5-2.
Correct. Perfect.
And we're going to go last game.
The last game, which is LA and Vancouver.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll start on that. The Canucks are hoping, or were hoping, to still be in the playoff hunt by the time this game came up. Possibly even chase.
Here we go. Yeah, a Chinese guy just subscribed, buddy. You need to speak Chinese tomorrow night.
Sounds great. But unfortunately, it's not going to. It's a nothing game for both these two teams at this point. I think LA, pulled off a nice victory last night. I wouldn't be surprised to see some players sat tonight on LA's behalf, especially on a back-to-back. Vancouver, on the other hand, I think it's all about Bruce Boudreau. If you recall, the Canucks were 8-15-2 back when Travis Green was coaching the team, and we've seen quite a remarkable change, not only in the team that had a lot of talent but wasn't producing ever since Boudreau took over, but I think he's changed the culture to this team, very much like St. Louis has done with Montreal. He's got more immediate results because of the fact that I think he's got greater talent on that team at this point. They slowly chipped away at being, I think at one point they were second last in the Western Conference, and they've gone all the way up and pretty much almost caught Vegas in the last 2 spots there. It's unfortunate from the Kings' perspective that it looks like they're going to have a big void going into the playoffs with the absence of Drew Doughty. But this guy, from everything I heard, and it doesn't surprise me one bit, he's been very active with the team. He's on the phone with his colleagues all the time. You can tell it's breaking his heart not to be out there and supporting the team. So it's unfortunate we're going to see a playoff without him, especially as he's getting on in age. But yeah, that's where we're at.
All right. Yes, Danny, I got yours. Unfortunately, I think I did wrong here.
4-2.
No, it's because I was at the wrong place. There you go. Sorry. 4-2-5-2. I took Vancouver, and I think you're going to go with Vancouver.
Correct.
So let's see what happening here. Danny, I got everyone who is in the net for Larry Peterson, Gustafson, Bruneliat, Noller says 7-cat, 7-4. Kelly says 54. What is your total score?
Oh, I didn't do that. Let's see. 4, 9, 13, 16, 19. Well, how many games are there again? 9? 9 times 6. Let's go with 58. I'll go a little bit higher.
58.
Yeah.
52. 52 for me. No, I go with 86.
You never know. We have AHL players up here tonight.
But I will tell you one thing, Mr. Untitled.
Never doubt Nooner.
No, but if ever Nuno gets 86, all right, everybody go to jail. Only him watch us at the jail all night long.
He'll control who gets out of that cage.
And he repeat again then 86. Kelly said 87. And that's what we have at that moment. I apologize. I was trying to get everybody. We have 1 minute to go. We're not to finish with the obviously very bad night for me. Honestly, it was very bad. So I have to go with something. And then I was trying to change possible, but I think I will keep them now. Peterson, McDavid, and Kane. You have too many choices anyway.
Kane, Peterson, and McDavid. Yeah, and I went with Tampa Bay. And on defense, I'll take Hanifin of Calgary with Barrie. And Forsberg, Miller of Vancouver, and Draisaitl.
And we have John Grega with Pasternak.
Pasternak.
Tadam sure, no, I will add center Andrew 60. All game good. Corey Hill 90 points. Yes, so many games I use calculator, everything like that. Mr. Nata, we're going to go there. We're going to go quickly to finish about that one over there. I apologize. Everybody, please don't forget to click on the likes. That'd be great if you don't mind to do that. What are you looking for tonight?
Well, some exciting hockey for a change. I don't know if all the games will deliver, especially since not most of these teams, but a good chunk of them are not really in a position to even get near the playoffs. But there are a couple of exciting games that I think will have an impact when you look at the Minnesota game, obviously, against Calgary. I think this is definitely, as you said before, a must-win for them. I think the Nashville, Colorado game could have a possibility of being extremely interesting. The Buffalo, Boston, it's in Boston's hand. I think Buffalo is playing very loose right now. So I wouldn't even be surprised if Buffalo came up with an upset tonight. But Boston, it depends where they want to find themselves. If they win tonight, they're definitely in the hunt, maybe to try to catch Tampa. But the way Tampa's playing, I think it's going to be extremely difficult for them to catch them. So
yeah, it looks like a couple.
They're stuck
looking for something, right? Washington, Pittsburgh, Boston, Tampa Bay, Minnesota, St. Louis are really the 4-1, and then Nashville and Dallas, the number
that
8
could change.
play Colorado. So nobody wants to play Colorado at that moment. So really interesting.
Well, if you're Nashville, do you want to play Colorado or do you want to play Calgary?
Calgary.
I don't know. It looked like a tough
because
series.
they can play. I think the speed of the Colorado will complicate it too much. The Nashville.
Yeah.
Because Calgary play a little bit the same style still of the Nashville, physical, for checking, and I think that would be my point about that one over there. A lot of people talk each other. Coach changed mine to 56. I will do it. I got it. everything on that, Mr. ENORTAP. I think that concludes the show for tonight. We appreciate everybody. Before you knock the door, don't forget to click on the likes. Mr. ENORTAP, thanks for everything. We appreciate again your insight of the prediction for the Hockey National Show. But before we leave, we want to remind everybody.
You are awesome.
Everybody.
You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you.
Thank you so much, everybody, for another great show of the warm-up show. We're going to see you at 8 o'clock tonight for the Calgary versus the Minnesota Wild. That's the game we're going to follow. After that, Mr. ENORTAP watching Nashville, Colorado conclude the show for tonight. 15 game tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Start to do your prediction at 4 o'clock p.m. And I think that will be what you need to do. Until then, my friend, be well, be healthy. Find a winner that only dominate your day. Find a way to dominate. Well, Mr. ENORTAP.
You're 2022.
Here we go. Have an amazing, great night, everybody. I will see you in the next hour. Thanks so much, Mr. ENORTAP.
Good night, everyone. Good night. Good night, Coach.
Yep.